All right, we're live.
Good evening.
I'm dead keeping that too. Good evening.
What if they listening to in the morning? Whatever. Welcome back to the KASH Talk Podcast. It's Kiana.
I'm Ham Van Dam, your boy.
And we're going to get into it. So we're just going to do a brief recap of our intro episode. This is episode 2. Last week, we spoke about some, introductions, why we're doing this, how we're forever learners, how this is just this podcast is just about learning about ourselves, finding new interests, new information, and just going with the flow, trying to live our wellness lives, as I may say.
Yeah, go with the flow.
Your flow.
My flow. Her flow?
They flow.
They flow. Just to give you guys a brief recap, we dove a little bit into why we're doing this podcast, why we decided to, try to be a little bit more consistent with putting out content. And this is just our experiment, foray into
trying to get comfortable talking.
Yep.
Trying to get comfortable exploring new things, So we're all growing together, basically. I'm trying to, hopefully you will see the growth in me and the growth in Shane, or as he likes to call himself.
Damn.
Anyway, just growing up to, growing together, building some type of community, and, being that support for each other.
Yes, indeed. So we did talk about how we were going to get into these topics. And I think the very first one we're going to start off with is consistency.
Yep.
So you say consistency and how to make it look sexy. I love it. So give us our weekly affirmation.
So this week, our affirmation is, I call the shots and I make the plans. I'm in control of my life.
That is very, very sexy.
Cringe.
Very, very sexy. Give us a little bit of background as to how you came up with that affirmation.
Well, it's more of oftentimes we just make excuses as to why we can't complete goals, things expectations we put on ourselves. And it's more about asking yourself if these goals are really your own. Did you shape them yourselves, or did society shape them for you? Did that, parent or that friend that always put that pressure on you, that family member that expected so much from you, and it was stuff you wasn't really into it. You did things because everybody else, thought that's what you were supposed to do. And you never really took control of your own life. You never been consistent in just giving that effort into what you want to pursue for yourself.
Wow. So when you say that you are in control of your life, I feel like a lot of people don't really, it seems very cliche, you know?
Isn't life?
And life is kind of cliche. Life is kind of cliche. But when I say that, I mean, you say you're in control of your own life. I think a lot of people kind of gravitate towards that as kind of I don't even want to say a affirmation that is generic per se, but how do you kind of give that some type of, how do you bring a unique perspective to, taking control of your own life?
There's no unique perspective because we're all unique. So however you see it as fit, that's how it fits. Taking control, of course, you can't always control, your environment, where you grew up, how much money you have. They always say, just get a better job. It's not realistic for everybody. So it's just doing the things that make you feel the happiest in whatever situation you're in. So if that is you're working a dead end job, you're not happy at work, but guess what? You found some type of hobby or some type of escape from reality, and you're consistent with that, and that builds up on your mental health. So for instance, reading. If your job sucks and you just need to escape, read a fiction. Escape, be consistent in something that that helps you grow, that helps you feel more, I don't know, more comfortable? Fulfilled?
Yeah. I would use that word.
Yeah,
fulfilled.
There we go.
So I like the fact that you use the word consistency. That is the word of the day. Word of the day. Why is it so damn hard to be consistent? What a question. What a freaking question. I'll answer it first, if you don't mind. So my problem with consistency is basically that I am a self-titled procrastinator, which I believe is positive and negative in some strange way, because I feel as though because I have the self-awareness to call myself a procrastinator, like I feel like a lot of people, and I feel like it's like a running joke as well, like, oh, if you procrastinate, I got to play it close to the ledge. I got to play it close to the
like
goalpost.
The stress is what gets you going.
Yeah, like
the adrenaline of it.
Yeah, and I agree with that to a certain extent. Yeah, I also blame college. It's too much stuff to do.
Yeah.
And it's like I want to also enjoy life. So but yeah, like I just find it very difficult because I'm like a self-titled procrastinator, and I should stop calling myself that, because I want to break out of that. They say words have power. They
do, but you can also control what you believe the word means for you. Reclaim it.
Reclaim the word.
Yep.
So are you saying that procrastination should probably not have a negative connotation towards it?
No. If it's not harming you in any way, what's the point in being negative about it?
Yeah, but it is kind of harming me.
Oh, well, okay, then never mind.
Yeah, like I said, I like to play stuff close to the edge, but I would say that I've kind of had a revelation that, being a procrastinator is probably not the most conducive to my overall growth. So I have to be more consistent with, my planning and putting a lot of my stuff into my calendar. As if you guys don't know, I'm currently calendar poppy now. You can call me that, because if it's not on my calendar, I do not do it. Just don't. My calendar tells me
Cal Van Dam.
Ham Van Cal. Ham Cal Dam. But yeah, if it's not in my calendar, I'm not doing it. Just not doing it. I think that it has definitely started to help me get a little bit more organized. And I feel like that is just ultimately it's gonna drive my consistency, because if I'm looking at my calendar's telling me, yo, Ham, you gotta do research on content companies and doing outreach for content companies. How do I expect to get the connections that I want, get the plugs that I want, if I don't do the work behind it? But how do you get to that work? You got to get organized. How do you get organized? You got to stay consistent in what you do. It's all like it's steps. And I don't think you could skip steps. So when it comes to consistency and why it's so hard, I think it's because people just don't, I guess it's like they don't have a clear depiction on like what they want to do.
Yeah, they just set on a goal because they think that's what they're supposed to do.
Mm-hmm. And that's tough. And that's tough. And not even to just say it's tough, but like it's actually difficult to figure out what I want to do and what am I going to be consistent in. Because if you like to do something, ultimately it becomes second nature for you to do consistently. Because I like to do music. So when I was completely locked in on trying to be the greatest rapper of our generation, still pending, by the way, I was writing songs every day. Every single day I was writing songs. So you walk into my house, you hear music blasting, same song over and over again, because I'm writing songs. Now that I've grown, and even though I still want to be the greatest rapper of your generation, but I also want to be the greatest mogul of your generation, of this generation. So, it's all about, keeping that level of consistency.
Yeah. And then like my issue with consistency is more of a self-sabotage approach. I set
tell.
myself up for
tell.
failure most times because I set these high goals, high expectations, and then I just crash. I'm exhausted. I'm burned out. I don't want to do it anymore. So I have to start slow, and I have to start with things that are really, really practical. So like, perfect example, reading more. I always said I wanted to read more books. I used to read a lot growing up. I love fiction. I love fantasy. And I've come to this weird assumption that I'm an adult. I need to read self-help books. I need to read business books. I need to read all these like educational blah, blah, blah. When it's like, fuck that. Like, no, I don't. Like, sometimes I just need to reread a book that I read as a child. Sometimes I just need to read something that has nothing to do with the real world because it's just so heavy. And what I started to do was I said, I'm going to pick one book and I'm going to give myself 30 to 31 days to read it. And I don't have to read it every single day. I just need to finish it within that month. And I slowly became obsessed with having that escape, that new habit, that something to look forward to. So it went from me reading one book a month to me reading one book a week, to me reading a book in 5 days, to me reading 4 or 5 books in 1 month. And am I saying that that's what everybody should do? No. Like, if you only have the time to read a book a month, just do that. But have pride in it, be consistent with it, and be proud of yourself. See that progress in yourself. So I thought it wasn't that big of a deal until 3 months later, I'm throwing books back and forth. It's mad expensive, and my library card expired recently. But it's just
and
like,
she won't go get it.
Listen, the anxiety won't let me go. I never been to this library. I can't. So, and I got the card online during COVID. Like, COVID, I thrived because I didn't have to see nobody. But that feeling of, you really used to read like one book or nothing at all. And now I can finish a book in 5 days. I can read for hours. I can listen to an audiobook. Like, there's different ways to meet these goals too. Like, you don't have to buy a physical book. You don't have to have money, because you have to remember, not everybody has access to these things. So not everybody has money, $20, $30 to drop on a book, a hardcover book, a paperback book, whatever it may be. So you get your library card. Don't be like me. Don't let it expire. Like, get a library card, take that time, go to the library. It's a public place. That's why I said they cannot get rid of libraries. It's such an amazing resource for so many people. Won't. And like, that's something that I'm proud my tax dollars go to.
Yeah, they definitely not going to get rid of any libraries. It's government funded first and foremost.
Yeah, but anyway, we're not talking about that.
But yeah, I like the fact that you are kind of giving examples. Like, we both kind of gave an example of what we are doing in our life and like why it's so difficult for us to stay consistent, as well as, what helps us stay consistent. And, you zeroed in on the books. But I like the idea that one size fits no one.
Yep.
So
it's my slogan for like this section of my life.
So kind of elaborate on that if you could.
We all go through that period of consuming stuff that is not so great for us. We see everybody losing weight fast. We see everybody like living these holistic, lovely, foo lifestyles. When it's like, that shit is not real. Everything's edited, cropped, face tuned, whatever the hell. Like, nowadays, nothing's truly authentic. And it's hard to find what really works for you because everybody's fronting. Like, nobody's really telling you that nitty gritty, like what they really went through. And the few people that are, they don't get the same airtime or the algorithm isn't in their favor or whatever. Yeah, like, it's just not working for them. So it's like, just letting people know, like, I make sure to say, like, yes, that may work for your friend, but don't do it and be mad at yourself because it didn't work. It doesn't work for everybody, and that's totally fine. So like Shane said, he uses his Google Calendar all the time. If it ain't for work, I'm not using it. I'm sorry. Like, we use Google Calendars for work, and when I see that notification outside of work, I'm like, like, I'm not looking at it. So when he puts stuff on my calendar, I'm like, thanks for putting it there, but it don't mean nothing to me.
Yeah, you probably have a better recollection of memory in terms of just staying a little bit more responsible. You are.
Yeah,
You are
like
more
I usually
responsible than
like
I
if I know something's important, I might put it in my calendar just as like if it's 3 months from now and I just need a reminder. But I don't need a reminder day of. Tell me the week before and I'm prepared.
Yeah.
But it's anxiety. It's not really me being good at it. It's just the fact like, oh shit, I gotta go outside next Wednesday. Like that's the real issue.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, so I'm responsible because I'm anxious, but I guess we could use my flaw to my advantage.
That's a good advantage.
Yeah.
And I mean, even we spoke about that earlier. Like, we have to kind of, like you said, we have to kind of reclaim what we consider negative connotations.
Yeah.
So if like I'm saying I'm a procrastinator, maybe
using my words against me. I don't like that.
They call that podding.
Whatever.
Podfather. But anyway, like I said, we have to reclaim those. I like the fact that you use that. That's probably why I used it again. But instead of being a procrastinator, maybe I like the thrill of the chase or something like that.
You like the adrenaline, the rush.
Yeah. I could probably word that better. But
I said that in college. I was like, give me the Red Bulls, I'll pull the all-nighter. And then guess what? I got a motherfucking A. So if it worked, why? If it ain't broke, don't fix it,
I would say that I consistently procrastinate.
Or use it in the resume terms, like can handle a large workload under pressure.
Look at us.
Self-motivated. Self-driven.
I love it. I love it. But yeah, not just to get back into the one size fits no ones. I feel that wholeheartedly and that's something that I'm currently learning, like as someone who is a boss and someone who has to learn how to effectively manage people. I'm learning that one size fits no one. And if you want to get that level of consistency from your employees, even from your clients, or even from the people you work with, your partners, you have to have expectations for their consistencies, and you have to know how they work. Of course, like some people, like you said, one size fits no one. To get consistency out of one employee, I may have to bring an entirely different approach.
Emotional intelligence, know how to approach people in the way that works best for them. That's like feedback. When your boss be telling you all this stuff you're doing wrong, you're like, damn, do I do anything right?
Yep.
You want that compliment sandwich. You want the feedback, what I'm doing right, and then like some solutions, some action steps. Like, don't just give it to me raw like that.
Yeah, that's kind of
that's just for me. But some people might just like it raw. Oh, I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, I like that.
Take that
but
out.
Anyway, some people may just like the upfront level.
Yeah.
Like me, I like bluntness. Like I'm strangely very into people just being very blunt with me. It's like
not me though. Everybody else, but not when I do it.
Yeah, not with Kiana. 'Cause she be too blunt. Maybe she's like my litmus test of bluntness. Like if you're less blunt than my girlfriend, then I can pretty much handle it.
Vibe check.
I can pretty much handle your bluntness, and I think that pretty much no one is more blunt than Kiana Saunders. It's just not. But I like it. Maybe you conditioned me to actually liking that level of bluntness.
Yeah, but it's weird because I'm very blunt to you,
Yeah,
but I don't like that.
Yeah, but I love you, and
how sweet.
So it's certain things that I'll put up with a level of bluntness. Like if somebody
He's saying that on the pod, but he don't say that in person.
Stop telling people I'm fronting. I'm not fronting. But anyway, like I said, and some people you might have to deal with them with a level of care.
Like me.
Precisely.
I'm sensitive.
Yes,
you're
she don't want me to be blunt to her.
No, I'm gonna cry.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's always a good thing to kind of kind of just keep into perspective, when you're dealing with people on a level of consistency, and even when the level of consistency you expect from people. I think that's a good conversation as well. So like what is the level? Let me see if I could word this correctly. So like there's a certain level of consistency you expect from me, correct?
Yeah.
So what would you say is like your standard level of consistency that you expect when it comes to like family versus like friends versus like work, if that makes sense.
Well, for me personally, I just need people to do what they gotta do. Like, give me the bare minimum if you have to, but do something. Like,
yeah,
that's it. Like, I don't really have high expectations for people at work. Like, if you're not going to do it, whatever, I'll just do it. Like, and that's not always the best mentality to have, because it does create burnout, stress, things like that. But it is what it is with me. Like, if you don't care, I don't care. If you're not putting the work in, I'm not going to put the work in. Like, that's just how it is. But I meet people where they're at. So if you're somebody that's like, oh, I'm going with the flow, I'll go with the flow. If you're somebody that's like, I need to schedule meetings with you all the time, like Shane needs to schedule everything, you could put it on my calendar. Am I going to look at it? No. But I'll make you feel comfortable enough. And that could go into other things like people pleasing, blah, blah, blah. But that's for a later episode. But that's just how it is. Like, however you give it up is how I'll give it up. But for me personally, when it comes to consistency, I have like a checklist that I try to include when making any type of goals or setting any type of intention. So it's like, I like to start with just my mindset in general. So where is my head at? How important is this to me? Is this something that I really want to improve on? Is this something that I really want to implement into my life? Whatever the goal or new habit or whatever it is. And it's just getting in the mindset of what it looks like to begin it, what it looks like when I'm in it, and what it will look like once I complete it.
That's a bar.
Anyway.
That's a bar. I like that. That's a bar. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Moving on.
Yeah. So I mean, to answer my own question, I have relative expectations in terms of people who be consistent, but my general expectation is just transparency.
Yeah,
I think that's literally my biggest pet peeve ever.
Yeah, say what it is and don't butter. What do you say? Don't butter me like I'm toast.
My biggest slogan is, please tell me, do not butter me up. I'm not toast. I'm not toast. Don't try to give me the nice little walkthrough. Like, no, that's why I like people that are blunt. Like, because when you are blunt, that comes with a level of transparency that you're just not going to get with people who are not blunt. So it's like, yo, like my professor told me the other day, he said, yo, don't fuck this up. Like, and it wasn't like, yo, you're fucking this up. It's, yo, you need to recognize the level of seriousness that it's going to take for you to run this business. So I'm going to tell you not to fuck this up. And I loved it. I loved it because it was transparent. You know, it wasn't like, yo, you're doing a great job. It's, no, I see you're getting back into slippage, or maybe you're getting back into a procrastinator's mindset and not becoming self-motivated, and you need to get your shit together. So like, that's my general level of consistency. Just be transparent with me. I need that transparency if we're going to be in a working or even a regular relationship. When it comes to my friends, I still expect a level of transparency, but I have a level of consistency that I expect, and I expect that from them as well. You know, like birthdays. I'm a big birthday person, very big. I don't forget people's birthdays. And if I have forgotten your birthday, you're not really my friend like that.
Don't say that, because you probably did forget a really close friend's birthday.
I did it though.
I'm just saying, things happen. I've done it before, and we're all.
But that's you. That's you.
But it's human, you know. Your day get busy. You like, oh shit, I forgot to say happy birthday.
I mean, you can even say that you forgot.
But then if you remember to say it, I guess you're still consistent.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So even if you 1 day off, 2 days off, you got to say happy birthday.
Not 2.
Not 2 days?
No,
I'm sorry, but if you like 1 day off,
hours.
If you like 1 day off, I'll take a belated after 2 days.
Don't hit me even 2 weeks later like, yo, your birthday was the 3rd.
My birthday is a recognizable day, and I talk about it all the time. It's Guruween, by the way. But
Halloween.
Guruween. But anyway, like, that's the level of consistency I expect. That's just like a little pet peeve of mine. Like, I'm going to call you on your birthday, or I'm going to at least send you a nice text, tell you I love you, and make sure that you're good. I'm not expecting a gift. I don't really care for gifts. Like, I like gifts, but
I was about to say,
I like gifts, but I don't really care for like like birthday gifts and stuff like that.
Showering and gifts, yeah.
Yeah, I don't really care to get showered with gifts. I just want like a yo, happy birthday. You know, give me a call or something, send me a text. I'll take text. I don't mind. But like that's just the level of consistency I expect. I have expectations for my friends because I put a lot of consistency in my friends. Like, you got a show, I'm pulling up. You got merch, I'm buying the merch. Like, and that's just, I guess that's a little, what's the word? Like, I guess preemptive maybe, or like having a different level of expectations.
Yeah,
but fuck it, I don't care.
Because you know, I have that problem too. Like, I go above and beyond for all my friends, and I be losing my shit when they don't do that. Like, I'd be like, yo, you not dead ass. Like, I drove 50 million miles and you can't even pull up for some game night type shit. Like, come on. So that's where it comes into, like, you can't expect everybody to be on that same level as you, but as long as you stay true to yourself, that's all that matters. And if you're the type of person that can handle the whole, like, I can put out and it's okay if I don't get back, bravos to you, because I can't. But if you're okay with that, you have to understand that your level of consistency is not the same as somebody else's. But if you're the type of person like me that's like, if I give 100, I expect at least 80, 90% back, you have to be consistent in letting people know what you expect from them. And if they cannot meet that expectation, you have to accept it.
Or you have to lower it.
But you should never lower your expectations just because somebody else can't meet it. You just have to understand that that person does not meet your expectation, and you plan accordingly. If you know that this friend never comes to nothing you throw, like we throw game nights all the time. So if there's a friend that we always invite, no shots to nobody. But like, if there's a friend that we always invite and they don't pull up, we invite them 3-4 times, I'm not fucking asking you again.
I agree.
You know, like, why do I have to consistently reach out and you consistently dub me? So that's they're consistently a dub, like.
And they are consistent.
But the love is still there. We may be friends that just text. We may be friends that just FaceTime. We may be friends that we just hit up once a year. Y'all hit up the restaurants or the bars or something like that. And that's a level of consistency.
Yeah, I don't think that's an issue though. I think that it's good to have. I always tell you, I always think it's good to categorize your friends. I always believe that. I've always believed that. Well, I'm lying. I have not always believed that.
He's recently become.
I've recently believed that. Like, I would say maybe within the past 2 to 3 years, I've really gotten into like deliberately categorizing my friends. Like, I cannot have friends that I know will show up for anything. I'll even give him a shout out. I know L will show up for everything. He will show up for everything.
And Prince makes sure to call for everything.
Prince will call for everything. And then I have other people in categories that I know they might not show up, but maybe they'll buy some merch. That's cool. Or maybe they'll support me in another way by sharing anything that we put on social media. That's great. Then I have friends that just don't do anything. Maybe they're not into social media. That's why I like
nothing.
They're not into nothing. That's why I like when you said like one size fits no one, because even you have to kind of bring that train of thought into your consistency when you're analyzing like certain things. Like, should I be mad at this person because they're not showing up to game nights? Or should I just, like you said, meet them where they are? Okay, they're not showing up to game nights. Okay, then we're not going to invite you. You're not going to be on the main list of people we bring to game night.
We may drop a hint like, yeah, we having game night on the 12th. And if they come, they come. If they don't, they don't. But I'm not going to be like, yo, you pulling up?
Yeah, I'm not.
You pulling up? You want to plate? You want to plate? Like, no.
Yeah, I'm not actively looking out for you. I'm not actively looking out for you to come. And I think that's why expectations and with consistency, like it's like a sliding scale.
It's the mindset of it.
Yeah, it's a sliding scale because you know certain people are going to show up regardless of the outcome, regardless of how it happens. And if they can't show up, you know it's for good reason.
But stay consistent in yourself, because that's what we're talking about.
Yep.
We're talking about you. It doesn't matter what our examples are. A lot of people may not meet you where you at, but you need to stay in that mindset for yourself, because guess what? It's just going to slip after that. You're going to just derail. You're going to be like, damn, this person not pulling up to my shows. Damn, this person not coming to game night. Damn. And then you give up. And that's why it's so damn hard, because we expect, well, it's not even expect, like, there should be that social support. There should be that family support, that community support. And sometimes you don't receive that. And as long as you stay consistent, it would eventually show up.
Yeah, I think that is just, sometimes we believe it's supposed to be second nature. Like it's supposed to be second nature because that's just the type of people we are. And that's just not the fucking case. Like that's just a reality of the situation. And I mean, a lot of people don't figure that out until much later. I would say for sure I hadn't even figured that out until earlier this year. Like, bro, I got to be consistent in myself because people are going to fluctuate regardless. Like they're going to fluctuate. They're going to be in and out of your life because they're dealing with their own shit. Honestly, they dealing with their own shit. So if they're going to be in and out of your life, you got to move accordingly to your life, and you're not going to sit there and adjust to what the fuck they got to do.
And that goes for everything.
Yeah, because my bad, but I mean, fuck them. Like, I'm not saying that. It's not, I don't mean it like that, but I mean, like, when it comes to like the grand scope of things, like, you have to prioritize yourself first.
Yep.
You have to. And I think that's the only way you're going to get to the level of consistency that you actually want. All right, so let's move on into like goal setting and whatnot. Like when we're talking about consistency, like give us some tips. Give us some tips, maybe. Like,
so when it comes to consistency, as we spoke about a lot about friends and stuff, but mainly the main focus is being consistent for your own health, wellness, and life, all of that in itself. Mm-hmm. So whether that be you're trying to be more consistent friend, whether you're trying to be more consistent in going to the gym just for your health, not because, you know, the Instagram body, BBL bodies, you know, none of that. You're going for yourself, and or you want to start a new habit like me, reading books, or Shane, just getting more organized. To be more consistent, like I said, you have to start with mindset. Why do you want to do this? Why is this important to you? Where do you see yourself in the beginning? Where do you see yourself in the beginning? Are you in the middle? Are you prepared to fail? Because failure is inevitable. You're not always going to succeed. And I think that's what makes it hard for a lot of people to start anything, because I think like this. I think as soon as I just told Shane I want to learn how to graphic design, and I'm like, as soon as I even look at a video, I'm like, I need to be making fucking animes right now. Like, I need to watch one YouTube video and I'm fucking making Naruto. Like, I'm recreating that shit. But no, that it's not realistic. So get in that mindset that it takes time and it is okay to not be perfect. Do stuff just because you like it. So get in the mindset. After you get into that mindset, make some action steps. Like, how do you want to start? So me, for instance, I wanted to read more. So my action step was, I'm going to read one book a month, and I need to finish it between the 1st and the 31st. And I made it very free flowing for myself, because I know that constraints do give me anxiety. So then it's going to feel like a obligation now, and nothing that I actually want to do. So I said, you know what? I'm not going to be like, oh, I got to read before bed 10 minutes a day. That does not work for me. But if it works for you, do that. So for me, I said I have to read a book once a month between the 1st, the 30th, or 31st, whatever month, or leap year, whatever. And that's just that was my action step. Another example of that would be, I need to read 10 minutes before bed every night so that I can de-stress my mind and get rid of all of that muck from work and all that muck from school, or whatever daily stresses you had, just to escape from your reality. That could be your action step. Or it could just be something simple like, I'm going to make a list of things that I'm really interested in and then break it down into things that I see top priority for myself. So that's kind of like my first set of tips.
Okay.
And then next is more like, just be honest with yourself. Is this something you want to do? Like I said, is this something that you're actually capable of? Is this something that you can find the resources, whether they be paid or free? Or is this something that you need extra insistence on? Do you need community support? Do you need your friends? Like, what do you need? And you take the time to figure that out. And then like, once you get into the groove of it, and you're finally ready to take that extra step, and you're in that stage of putting that action into play, it's more as using those old habits of yours to trigger the new one. So that's like I said, if you're the type of person that you're not like me, go with the flow, but I need like a deadline. But if you're somebody that needs an action to trigger something else, so if you know you need to work out every single day, make sure the night before, your old habit is, oh, I put on my nightgown or my PJs or whatever and I go to bed. No, the new routine is, oh, it's bedtime, time to take out my gym clothes for the next day. I wake up. As soon as I wake up, I take my pre-workout, I drink my water, I put on the outfit, I'm out the door.
Boom.
So using that habit. So if you know every single morning you wake up, you make your coffee, your juice, your whatever, just throw your gym clothes in it. So just add it to that routine. Add to something that already exists because it will be way more easier for you. So for me, reading books, I started with audiobooks. I listen to podcasts while I work. So what's the difference of a podcast and an audiobook? Not much. So I just started listening to audiobooks instead. And then I was like, oh, I want to see the words on the page so I can visualize a little better. Got into regular books and now I'm reading 3-4 books a month. So just getting the groove of things and replacing that something that was of use at the time, but you want to like enhance it a little bit. And then next is just plan to mess up and try again. You're not perfect. It's okay. Nobody is. One size fits no one. So start something new. If you mess up, you slip up, you want to go to the gym every day, and then 1 day, 2 days, 3 days fall, or your eating habits mess up, it's okay. It happens. Nobody's perfect. If somebody tells you they eat healthy every single day and they go to the gym every single day, they're fucking lying. I don't care. They're lying.
You call it?
Yes,
lying.
it's bullshit. Like, you're not telling me that you go to the gym every single day and you eat perfect every single day. Because guess what? What is eating perfect? Let me not get into it because I'm about to be like, the Western
There's
people,
like 90 different diets out
yeah,
now.
it's like, it's mad diets out there. They try to say that cultural food is not healthy and blah, blah, blah. So to be honest, who really eating healthy? Like, you eating for yourself. You're eating what's known to you, something that you've been given consistently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm also not giving up any Jamaican food. So.
Yeah, but anyway, look, we diving off. But like I said, plan to mess up and try again. Nobody's perfect. It takes time. Don't think you're going to be a pro at anything or be like the master yoga teacher and doing all types of rituals and shit in a week. No, sometimes it takes a year. Sometimes it takes several years. Sometimes it may take you a week. Just plan to mess up and try again. And that is how you remain consistent.
Those are some good tips. Let me see. Do I have any tips?
He gonna sit here and talk about his Google Calendar.
I just feel like I just became consistent. So
he's like, use blue for tasks, use red
for meetings, and orange for podcast shoots. That's my advice.
But it works for you.
It does. It does. I like to see the colors on Google Calendar. Tips. Consistency. I like to say you gotta find your passion, man. That's like my main thing. Or you gotta find
something, try everything so you can find what you're passionate at.
Oh, I like that. Especially if you don't know what you're passionate about.
Like me. I complain about this all the time. Like, I'm very like, ooh, I want to do this, blah, 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 blah. And I just do it. And then if I don't like it after, I'm like, oh, this is a dub.
I think your passion is knowledge. I think you have a real passion for learning. That's why, we're forever.
That's all I know how to do.
Yeah, but you're really good at it. I feel like you're not like an academic, like.
Yeah, I'm not sitting here hitting you with like, this fancy British man said this fancy quote. I ain't got time for that. But I can explain it to you the way that I speak. I can give you the knowledge in the format that is convenient for me.
Yeah, and I think that you have a good like way of recognizing like how to give that knowledge off. Like you said, like you got the way you would explain something to me is not the way you would explain something to someone else. And you have like a very good
emotional intelligence.
Yeah, I guess that's what it's called. You're very cognizant of how you speak to people when you're giving your knowledge out. I'm sorry, I didn't know. I'm learning.
I tried to explain it to you.
We're learning too. But yeah, like I said, you gotta find your passion. Once you find your passion or find the what's the word?
The spark in your
God,
heart.
not the spark, not the spark. Find the productive measure. Like find what's like conducive in everything you do. So like if I found that if I have a calendar, it's gonna make me more organized. If I know if I wash the dishes, I'm gonna have dishes to use. And like, I mean, that's like a very
that was an easy example.
That's like a very easy example of it.
It makes sense.
It applies. Like, or for example, like go get paper plates because you don't want to wash dishes.
Facts.
Like, you get what I'm saying?
You know, stop working out because you want to lose weight. Start working out because you want to feel better.
Yeah.
You want to be healthier. Because maybe your mentality that consistency wasn't there because your mentality wasn't in it. You're thinking, oh, I need to hit like CrossFit every day so I could be jacked, or I could drop this 50 pounds so I could have, you know, the BBL vibes. But when you start working out for yourself, for your own health,
yep,
and for your own, like, just to feel good, because it does give that extra, like, you know, you get some serotonin and all of that.
Yeah, it does give good adrenaline.
Yeah, so like if you change that mindset, maybe you could be a little more consistent in it, you know?
Yeah, I be feeling like when I work out, I be tired.
He just be walking on the treadmill like a sad old man.
First of all, I am
not the treadmill, the elliptical.
Poppy. First of all, it's the disrespect.
And then he be on his phone.
Poppy, first of all. No, I don't be on my phone.
Yeah, he be moving his legs and he on his phone.
I got a nice little playlist. It got a lot of Black Youngster on it and Pop Smoke. And that's my workout playlist. Black Youngster and Pop Smoke. That's it. But I have not been to the gym in a minute. I'm supposed to be going with me and Mo and Zach, my guys. We supposed to be joining the basketball
Mo's
league.
going to the gym.
We are going to be killing.
I see Mo post all the time that he's going to the gym.
I know, because Mo
so what is your excuse? Why are you not being
Mo has a great job that he works at that is literally connected to a gym. It's beautiful for him.
Sounds like
excuses. Shout out to Breezy.
It
does sound like excuses. I'm not even going to say it bullshit you
because you should be putting it in your calendar.
You know what's even worse?
Why the gym not in your calendar? I have access to his calendar. You know, and gym is not even in there.
You are absolutely correct. You know what's worse, guys? Not only do I have access to the Y, I also have access to the huge Syracuse University gym.
And he also has access to Crunch Fitness because I have a membership that he can come for free. And I also work part-time in a gym. So,
all right, so you guys are going to help me be consistent in going to the gym because apparently I need to be held accountable. So, yeah, let's hold Guru.
I mean, I'm talking. I don't go to the gym either.
That was the statement I was waiting to come out, but
that's not a goal of mine.
It's kind of a goal of mine recently because I've been getting really tired a lot, and I feel like I need to be in better shape. I need to be in better shape, especially because I'm doing a lot of walking around and being mobile all day. So yeah, guys, I'm gonna go to the gym. I promise. I may be
we're about to do a
slender poppy by next Hamtober. Maybe.
We're about to do what's it called? A challenge, a 30-day challenge.
Not today though.
Because he's not gonna do it.
I have to schedule it in my calendar. I told you guys, if it's not in the calendar, I'm not doing it.
And then he's gonna be like, oh, we're gonna wake up at 6 a.m. And then guess what? We're gonna wake up at 8. And he's like, guess we can't go to the gym today.
That's tough. That's super tough because we both, going to the gym is a group experience.
Yeah.
It's not just social myself. It's also Cash.
Yeah.
Who also has to go to the gym with me.
To get him into the gym anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyway, I think we're about to wrap up. That's good.
Yes, I like there'll be a blog post about this as well.
Yes.
It won't be as detailed and free flowing. It'll be very concise, tips, what works, blah, da, da.
Yeah, this is where we free flow.
Yeah, this is where we just chat it up. But I will make a blog post about this on noelsoulsheal.com.
Yep.
And you can also follow me at Noel Souls Heal on Instagram and KASH Talk on Twitter. Well, _ KASH Talk _.
Yep. And you can follow all Smooth Family related things at Smooth Family ENT. That's on all social media platforms. Follow me everywhere at Frostman Guru. And that's that. So thank you guys again for tuning in to the KASH Talk Pod. Boop, 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 boop. And
what was that?
I'm working on some outros.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So, like I said, thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
Yep.
Say,
That's
I'll
all I
say
got,
say
yeah.
bye at least.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.